Hello, welcome to Bored and Confused, where I review shows based on two criteria. One, was I bored? Two, was I confused? Today's show is Bug, playing at Manhattan Theater Club at the Samuel J. Friedman Theater on Broadway. Now, before I jump into this psychological thriller of a play, please take a moment to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me grow this channel and get press tickets and see more theater. We're almost at 5,000, and I want to get to 100,000, but baby steps, and I appreciate your help. All right, so Bug, what did I know about this play before I went in? Well, I remember that this was a big hit off-Broadway at the Barrow Street Theater, which was, I was just there with my last review of Picnic at Hanging Rock. So I was thinking about Bug being in that space because I remember walking by that theater in like 2004, 2005 and seeing this play playing there that I heard had got great reviews, but I never went and saw it. So when I saw that Manhattan Theater Club was bringing in this production from Steppenwolf, I was like, yes, I want to see this play. And boy, I'm glad I went and saw this. If you just need a recommendation, this is a great play. It's a great production. The actors are all from Steppenwolf, so it's so good. So if that's all you need to know, turn this off, go watch this show, especially if you don't know anything about it. You know, I always like to go into things knowing as little as possible. So a little history about the show. The show is by Tracy Letts, who is one of the members of the ensemble of the Steppenwolf Theater Company. He also wrote August Osage County, The Minutes, and a lot of other, he's a great playwright. So no worries there. But this play premiered back in 1996 at the Gate Theater in London. And then it came 8 years later to Off-Broadway and played at Barrow Street. And then there was a movie made in 2006 starring Michael Shannon, who also was in the London production and the Off-Broadway production. And Ashley Judd was in the movie, and it was directed by William Friedkin of Exorcist fame. So I have not seen the movie, but now after having seen the play, I really want to see the movie just to see Michael Shannon's performance, which really established him as this intense kind of actor. So this is the Broadway premiere 30 years after the play was written, which is kind of crazy, right? And it's interesting, in the playbill it says that it's set in present time, which it mostly it works for present time, but I was aware listening to the play that some of the references, I felt like, well, those references feel kind of far back. You know, when you're referencing Jackie Onassis and the Kennedys and things like that. In 1990, it makes a little more sense. Now it's like, wow, that's really reaching back. Anyhow, so what is the play about? Well, the play is all set in a dingy motel room in Oklahoma. And it centers on Agnes White, a lonely cocktail waitress, and Peter Evans, a mysterious drifter with a truckload of paranoia. And as their relationship deepens, so does the paranoia, until reality starts to slip. There's conspiracies, delusions. Is it real? Is it in her head? Are there bugs? Is the government watching? These are some of the many questions that we ask and maybe receive answers to. So, first of all, positive things about this production. Carrie Coon as Agnes is really incredible. She's the main character we're focused on. We're going on her journey, and boy, she takes us on a roller coaster ride. This poor woman, I mean, I feel so much for her. I mean, this play is so intense that it really keeps you leaning in. And unfortunately, in some cases, literally, I was in the second row of the mezzanine, and the guy in front of me was so into this play that he just kept leaning forward, and his big fat head was blocking some of the set. So I know that you love the play and you want to lean forward. Don't lean forward in the theater. Don't do it. You can do it if the person in front of you does it, which is what I had to do, but then it's just a ripple effect and everyone's got to lean forward so they can see over your head. All right, pet peeve. I thought the scenic design by Takeshi Kata was fantastic, directed by David Cromer. This was directed and lit and done so well that it never felt stagey. It always felt very organic, like I was eavesdropping on what was going on in this tiny little hotel room. And it's set very far forward in the center of the stage. And it's just, the set design works really great. Everything felt so organic and so truthful. Now the show is 2 acts, but it's a pretty short play. I think if you cut out the intermission, this would only be about a 90 or 100-minute play. Curtain was at 8 and I was out by 10. So a little warning, this play is dark and bleak. I was really surprised that they opened this over the holidays. But I guess for some people, maybe the holidays are dark and bleak, and so they want to go see the show. So was I bored? Was I confused? Not bored at all. This play has a slow burn, but I expect that with Tracy Letts. He takes his time, but Tracy writes these scenes that are so great for the actors that we're just learning who the characters are, and then he starts to layer in a little sense of dread and danger, and then something surprising will happen. And he does this great thing of ending each scene with just a moment as we see Agnes being sucked into this delusion, and we just go little bit, and each scene ends with one more brick being added to this, and it really creates this tension. We end the act one with her saying something where you're like, oh no, and so it brings you back to act two, and just to watch her slowly slide into this world that is being, I don't want to give away too much, that's why I'm speaking kind of metaphorically. But yeah, just watching her slip into this world of this man that she's just met is really fascinating, and it has you nail biting and on the edge of your seat. All right, so not bored at all. Was I confused? You know, for the most part, not. As I mentioned earlier, there's a few of these phrases that just feel like it kind of made me go, oh, this play was written in 1990. So these references that they're making wouldn't have seemed so far away or so unusual for a person. This woman's 44 years old, and the man is even younger. So he's referred to in the script as a young guy. So I'm guessing he's in his 20s? Hard to tell. So was I confused? You know, there was only one thing where I did get pulled out of the play. There's 5 people in this play, but there's one role of Dr. Sweet who only has one scene. Let's mention actors really quick because they were all great. I already mentioned Carrie Coon, who's incredible, and then Namir Smallwood, who plays the other main role of Peter Evans. And then we have Jennifer Engstrom as RC and Steve Key as Jerry Goss. They were both great. And then as Dr. Sweet, we have Randall Arney. And I feel like Tracy Letts has really given this actor a challenge because we hear a little bit about this doctor, but he has one scene and he just has to kind of show up, and we have to know everything about who he is just by the performance of this actor. And what happened to me when he appeared is it felt like a device by the playwright to raise the stakes for the final moment of the play, as opposed to really feeling like a real organic person coming into the scene. I wanted to believe that he was a real person and not a figment, and this well-meaning doctor who was really doing something out of the kindness of his heart and putting himself at risk. He knows that this man is potentially dangerous. I just didn't believe it. My brain went, oh, this is a device. Also, David Cromer, who the direction is excellent for this, but he has Dr. Sweet show up and show his credentials to Agnes, and she doesn't want to get near him, and he throws his wallet on the bed to kind of be like, here, you can look at it, but then she doesn't touch it. And then he like leaves his wallet there for the rest of the scene. And I don't know, maybe it's me because I'm just a little OCD about it, but I was like, dude, are you gonna get your wallet? You can just leave your wallet. Is there money in there? What about your Metro card? Anyhow. So yeah, that was my only confusion. So let me wrap this up. You know, this is not a feel-good holiday show, but hey, the holidays have now passed. We're now in the dead of winter. Why not go watch a psychological thriller on Broadway? It's really well done. It's really intense. Yeah, it's dark and bleak and not a happy ending, but it's a fun roller coaster ride with lots of drama. So tickets. I was actually offered press tickets for this, but I'm going out of town and they were like the day I was leaving, and I was like, that's not gonna work. So I just went ahead and went on TodayTix and I grabbed a $50 rush ticket, which I did have to try a few days before I got it. But let me tell you, it was the second row center section mezzanine. It was an incredible seat. Those are probably like the highest priced seats in the theater. Second row, so I was a little annoyed with the guy in front of me who kept leaning forward. So if you get that front row, you don't have to worry about that. But the rush tickets are a way to go. They also have student $35 tickets. And then I also think NYU has a program where you can actually get free tickets to Manhattan Theater Club. So if you are a student at NYU or you know one, ask them about tickets to Bug. So that's all I got to say about Bug right now. This was really a great play. After 20 years of waiting, after missing my opportunity. I'm so glad to have finally seen it, and I actually want to go check out the movie now because I think it'll be a different experience because they'll be able to really zoom in on, close-ups on the bugs. So yeah, go check this out. It's only running till mid-February, and let me know what you thought in the comments below. And I will be gone for a couple months, so I won't have any more Broadway reviews until I'm back in March when they start opening shows up again. All right, have a good one. Bye.